प्रलयापयोदिजले धृतवानसि वेदा विहितविहित्रचरित्रमथेन प्रलयापयोदिजले धृतवानसि वेदा विहितविहित्रचरित्रमथेन केशवधृता मीना शरीरा केशवधृता मीना शरीरा केशवधृता मीना शरीरा केशवधृता मीना शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता मीना शरीरा जय जगदीश क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणी धरन किन चक्रगरिष्ठे क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणी धरन किन चक्रगरिष्ठे केशवधृता कुर्मा शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता कुर्मा वसति दर्शन शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशनि कलंक कलेव निमग्ना केशवधृता शुकर रूपा केशवधृता वराह रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल वरे नखम अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलित हिरण्य कशिपु तनु भृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे छलयसि विक्रमणे बलि अद्भुत वामा पदनखनी रजनित जन पावा सदयति निद्रामने पद्माद्भुत वामा पदनखनी रजनित जन पावा केशवधृता वामन रूपा क्षत्रियारुधिरमयी जगत्पापा स्नपयसि पयसि शमित भवतापा क्षत्रियारुधिरमयी जगत्पापा स्नपयसि पयसि शमित भवतापा केशवधृता दशमुखमाली बलिमरमणीया दशमुखमाली बलिमरमणीया केशवधृता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश जय जगदीश वह शिव कुशि विशदे वसनं जलधामा हलहित भीत मेलित यमुनामा केशवधृता हलधर रूपा केशवधृता बलराम रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे सदया हृदय तरसित पशुधाता सदया हृदय केशवधृता बोध शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। वहनी धनि कलयसी करवाला घुमके तुम्हें मति मति करवाला मले केशव धीता कलकी शरीरा केशव धीता कलकी शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश जय देव कवेरी तमुदित मुदारा शुनु शुकदम शुभदम भवसारा जय देव कवेरी तमुदित मुदारा शुनु शुकदम शुभदम भवसारा केशव धीता दशविध रूपा जय जगदीश हरि केशव धीता मीन शरीरा केशव धीता हरि केशव धीता कुर्म शरीरा केशव धीता सुकर रूपा हरि केशव धीता नर हरि रूपा हरि केशव धीता वामन रूपा हरि केशव धीता भूपति रूपा हरि केशव धीता राम शरीरा हरि केशव धीता भर रूपा केशव धीता बुद्ध शरीरा हरि केशव धीता कल्पी शरीरा हरि केशव धीता दशविध रूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। केशव धीता दशविध रूपा जय जगदीश जय दश अवतार जय दश अवतार दश अवतार जय दश अवतार जय दश अवतार जय दश अवतार दश अवतार जय दश हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Jīva Gosvāmi Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmi Jīva Gosvāmi Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmi Jaya Jīva Gosvāmi Jaya Jīva Gosvāmi Jīva Gosvāmi Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmi Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jiva Goswami ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
Gopatra is here. That is over. Please follow the trend. Come on the dais. Give him a chair. And please bless us with some. Of course. I said that's the trend. Please.
Gana Timarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranitam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So essentially all gatherings like this are Harikatha and Vaishnava Sangha. Means they are a chance to open the door to the deepest part of our hearts. Because Shivaji himself says, Tasmat parataram aradhanam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samacharam. This means Devi was asking her Lord, Shivji, what is the greatest and the highest of all kinds of worship? That means aradhanam sarvesham. Aradhanam, to worship. Sarvesham, of all different types of worship. Tadiyanam sarachat samacharam means that of all different types of worship. First he says, actually, Lord Shiva tricks his wife. He first says, the worship of God is the highest possible thing, the worship of Vishnu. And then he checks himself and says, oh, I know what you're looking for, Devi. She wants to worship her pati, her husband. She thinks he's the highest possible worship. But he's telling her, no, the worship of Vishnu is the highest thing. So first he said, yeah, the worship of Vishnu is the highest possibility. Then he says, oh, I see what you're looking for. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam. Tadiyanam means those people and those things who are connected directly, intimately with Vishnu, with God. They are the highest possible kind of worship is worship of them. So these are festivals of Vaishnava Sangha. Also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes it very, very clear. He says that of all different types of service, the service of the Vaishnavas is the highest. As a matter of fact, he uses the phrase Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru Brinda Kripa Koriyo Par. Sadhane Sadhan Siksha Angasar. This also very similarly means that, this is the words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says, I think that Siksha Gurus are the best of all possible relationships. Why? Why Siksha? Because we're in a line of Siksha. Everything comes through teaching. Whatever I learn, whatever I understand, whatever I imbibe, whatever I embrace, that's the important part of our teaching. Srila B.R. Sridhar Maharaj says very clearly, this is not a line of bindu. It means not a seminal line, not a family line, not even a line of mantra. Because the mantra, in some cases, can be dead. It can be given by someone who's not a deep Vaishnava, someone who is, sometimes people in the guise of Vaishnavism as Kanishta. They pretend that they're higher than that. But they're giving a mantra that's not lively, not vivacious, not full of devotion. So it may not even be a line of mantra, and it may not be a line of anything except teaching. What is it that's preserved in disciplic succession? It's the foundation of everything is the teachings that are given. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I think that Siksha Gurus are the highest possible relationship. Why? Because sadhane sikshan sadhaner angasar. They are the essential anga of bhakti. Siksha Guru, teacher Guru, those who give us the information. Those people are the highest, because above all else, what if the information's changed over generations? Vaishnavism is lost. Therefore, the maintenance of the teaching is in the Vaishnava's hands. How important is that? So today, I know we're celebrating the appearance of Srila Jīva Gosvāmi. We're welcoming Maharaj here as well, of course, on his behalf. I should definitely say that. And I know Maharaj will speak about Srila Jīva Gosvāmi himself, who was the greatest maintainer of the legacy of his uncles, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. And by the words of our Srila Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he was the greatest of all Rupanugas. Why? Because just what I said, he's maintaining their teaching. The person who maintains the teaching is the greatest Vaishnava of all. So Jīva Goswami was the maintainer of the legacy of his two uncles, specifically Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Look what Srila Jīva Goswami did. As a matter of fact, look at the diversity in the writings that he gave. He gives 6 sandarbhas. Tattva sandarbha, Bhagavat sandarbha, Paramatma sandarbha, Krishna sandarbha, Bhakti sandarbha, and Priti sandarbha. 6 sandarbhas he gives. They're the most technical knowledge in the world. Our Prabhupada said he was the greatest philosopher who ever lived. Some of us think philosophy is bogus. Let's just have a good heart. Okay, there's some truth in that, yes. But without philosophy, we won't know what to do with our hearts. This is what comes down in the teachings of our acharyas. So Srila Jīva Goswami gave us 6 sandarbhas, very technical knowledge. But then in contrast, Gopal Champu. One of the most wonderful Rasik literatures ever written in history. You won't find any better poetry anywhere. Gopal Champu. Even in Ananda Vrindavan Champu. Wonderful, wonderful poetry. But Gopal Champu is the best, because of his poetic sense. Same author. One technical literature. One very sweet, rasic, poetic, literary perfection. So Jīva Goswami had such a range of teachings. And lastly, I should just say, some people say there are some controversies around Srila Jīva Goswami, because he made a very strong statement there in Gopal Champu that the Svakya Rasa, the marital relationship of Krishna and his girlfriends, is much higher and more important than Parakya Rasa. Now this is in direct contrast to what Srila Rupa Goswami has given us. How do we reconcile? He's the greatest Rupanuga, and he gives something in contrast to Srila Rupa Goswami. But this is why. Iti ek janera haya pakshayai andajani nindakore kshaya yaya hai. It means that if you see 2 Vaishnavas, great Vaishnavas who differ, do not go there. do not think you know which one is right. Because Chayayahe, you're going down if you think one or the other is right. Neither of them are wrong. Both of them are right. So in this case, Srila Jīva Goswami wrote such. But then again, in his purports to Ujjval Nilamani, he explains himself. And he says, I did this for a good reason. I had many disciples whose devotional lives I wanted to save. But they involved themselves deeply with this Swakiya Ras. So to help and to nourish them so that they may go further and higher. To keep them involved in Krishna Bhakti and in the fold and family of Vaishnavas, I said these words. Not as absolute Siddhanta. Therefore, iti ek janera haya pakshahai. Don't side with this devotee or that devotee when great devotees seem to differ. And of course this holds true more than any place else with Srila Jīva Goswami and his uncle, spiritual master, his guide, his father, his life, Srila Rupa Goswami. He is the greatest Rupa Nuga Vaishnava of all. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
You said there's no time limit. Say something.
I'm sitting down.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Today they both are speakers, I'm going to sing only. Because whatever I wanted to say, Gopa Prabhu already said everything. Nothing left for me now.
Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So a very auspicious day today. We have a double occasion, Tithi. That is the appearance day of Krishna Avatar Vāmanadeva, and then also the appearance day of Srila Jīva Gosvāmīpada. So the katha is endless. Maharaj, I know just on one point you could speak for the entire night what to speak about. Try to cover the whole topic of Vāmanadeva and Srila Jīva Goswami. But just because recently, also last night I was here in Maharaj's class, starting out by glorifying Srila Rupa Gosvāmīpada, because I think we're all still having aftershock effects from the festival that we had for his disappearance day a few weeks ago, and then from that time, then Radhastami. So all these subjects are very closely related, Rupa Goswami and then Radhastami. So we heard yesterday from Srila Maharaj the glories of Srila Rupa Goswami. We've been hearing for weeks, for years actually, as Rupa Nuga, aspiring Rupa Nuga Bhaktas. This is what our intent and our focus should be, just the glories of Srila Rupa Goswami. So we've heard yesterday how Rupa Goswami was empowered to fulfill the heart's desire of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maharaj quoted a verse, Priya Swarupe Daita Swarupe Nijan Rupe Prabhu Reka Rupe, by Kavi Karnapur Goswami, glorifying Srila Rupa Goswami, that actually Rupa Goswami is the one who fulfilled the desires of Mahaprabhu. Actually, Mahaprabhu himself could not fulfill. He fulfilled through his non-different expansion, and that is Srila Rupa Goswami. Therefore he is called Priya Swarupe, like non-different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So although Rupa Goswami has been awarded this title of fulfilling the heart's desire of Lord Chaitanya, still Rupa Goswami also, he did not do alone. He did with his own Nijanu Rupe, with his own personal expansions. Who was that? That was Sri Jīva Gosvāmīpada. Although Srila Jīva Gosvāmīpada was the nephew of Srila Rupa Goswami, still primary and the main relationship is Guru and Shishya, because blood relationship is nothing in this world. In the world of the spiritual realm, devotion or heart-to-heart relation means everything. So Jīva Gosvāmīpada was, our Gurudev used to say, he was like the shadow of Śrīla Rupa Goswami. Everywhere Śrīla Rupa Goswami went, Jīva would also go. Everything that Śrīla Rupa Goswami wrote, Jīva Goswami would read. Some people say because Jīva Goswami was such a great scholar that his two uncles, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, would provide their writings to their nephew in order for him to proofread, to make sure all the Sanskrit grammar was correct. But our Gurudev said it's not a proper idea. Number one, there can never be any shortcoming in the writings of Śrīla Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And number two, their disciple Jīva could never even think of possibly correcting his Guru. So he was taking it in the form of prasad, as mercy. This is their hearts on paper, and they are giving it to me, providing it to me to read. So Śrīla Jīva Goswami, that innermost heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came into the heart of Rupa Goswami, and from the heart of Rupa Goswami, then it comes into the heart of Śrīla Jīva Goswami. So although we've heard Jīva Goswami, just like Śrīla Rupa Goswami, was very rasik. Again, some people, especially Prakrita Sahajyas, those who take our esoteric, very high topics of our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy to be very cheap. Sahajya means very easy, very cheap. It is very easy to attain these things. People who have this conception, it's very difficult for them to accept Śrīla Jīva Goswami. Believe it or not, some of them do not accept Śrīla Jīva Goswami as a bona fide Vaishnavacharya in our line. Why? Because he's very hard and very straight. Yes? Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidimdina Ekantakir Harir Bhakti Utpatyaiva Kalpate. In our path of bhakti, it is one-pointed, and therefore things must be excluded. And if you're not very rigid and very strict on this path, then so much disturbance, unnecessary disturbance, and crazy people will come on this path. Therefore, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj said, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I see him as a non-different expansion of Srila Jīva Goswami. Because he was so firm in establishing Siddhanta. And in order to establish Siddhanta, first you must establish what is not Siddhanta. Apa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine, in glorification of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Towards the end of his life, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, I have spent so much of my time telling what bhakti is not. This is not bhakti, this is not bhakti, this is not bhakti. Because this is absolutely essential. This is called Sampradaya Rakshak, protecting our Sampradaya from all of the opposing views, all of the distorted conceptions. So Jīva Gosvāmīpada was the same. Although one in heart to his Guru Śrīla Rupa Goswami, still there appeared to be some differences in their teachings. So many times our Gurudev would speak on this occasion. Actually, I was just remembering today, maybe 25 years ago, this was actually on this very day in Mathura, Keshaji Varimat. I'm not sure if you remember, Maharaj. First time Gurudev asked me to stand up and speak about Jīva Goswami or Vāmanadeva, myself and Gaurasundara Prabhu. So I was just remembering that today. So actually I'll just repeat what I remember speaking on that day.
That's good.
So Jīva Gosvāmīpada.
Anniversary.
Very quickly though, because I know everyone's come here to hear Maharaj speak, and real Pushpanjali is done by actual Vaishnava. But just to give my own Pushpanjali to the feet of Jīva Goswami, that sometime, according to Kala, Desh and Sthiti, time, place and circumstance, preaching takes different forms. Some people think prachar simply means mass distribution to whoever you see. Jare deke tare kaha Krishna upadesh amara agya karahe tare desh. Guru haya tare desh. Mahaprabhu said everyone should become a guru. Whoever you see, give this message of Krishna and have him chant the holy name. But there still is some restriction. We see sometimes acharyas perform propagation, spreading of this bhakti openly, and other times they seem to contain it. In the case of Śrīla Jīva Goswami, this is in many scenarios, like we just heard from Gopal Prabhu. He has supported Svakhiyavad. That means a marital relationship between Krishna and his consorts, instead of Parakiya, meaning those who are not married to Krishna. So this is a very long subject, but many times our Gurudev would get very deep into this Siddhanta. In his book Ragavartma Chandrika, there he gives a very long essay showing the distinction between Srila Jīva Goswami's vichara, that means his consideration, and the vichara of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So actually both are the same. How can you reconcile that? Jīva Goswami is saying that in Goloka Vrindavan, Parakya does not exist. Only in this world, it also does not exist, only some idea. And because we are coming into touch with Maya in this world, when Krishna's parikars come, therefore some semblance, some idea that, oh, the gopis are thinking they have abhimana, that I'm married to someone else other than Krishna. So again, this is a very long topic, but the point I want to make is something that Jīva Goswami, he is performing some very special task. He is actually confining. If you have a treasure, actually Rupa Goswami, how he satisfied the heart's desire of Lord Chaitanya was by establishing the highest possible goal for a jiva to attain. We heard yesterday, that is called Manjari Bhav. Not even Sakhi Bhav, not even a friend to Radharani, but simply a maid servant of Srimati Radharani. In his books, Ujjvala Nilamani and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami gives the scientific definitions behind these very elevated positions. The highest possible attainment for a living entity is called Manjari Bhav. Sanchari Syat Samana Va Krishna Rati Suhridrati Adhika Pushamanyas Teja Bhava Ullasa Itiryate. Again, this is a very long purport, but the point is that Rupa Goswami established that goal. He made it widely known to everyone. But even this was not completely fulfilling the heart's desire of Lord Chaitanya. Because this is simply a definition of the highest goal. But we cannot attain that goal simply by understanding a definition. This is not a school, this is not an arithmetic class. In order to attain that highest mood, it must be exemplified. There must be an example. We must be witness to someone experiencing those moods. Therefore, in order to bestow mercy to all of the Baddha Jivas, Srinivasacharya writes, Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati Shrenim Sadatu Javat Bhutva Dina Ganesha Karunaya Gopina Kantashrito Gopi Bhava Rasa Amritabdi Lahari Kalola Magno Muhura Vande Rup Sanatana Raghuyogo Shijiva Gopalako. Leaving aside their wealth, the six Goswamis simply wore kopins. Why did they do this? They had no reason, no need themselves, only to bestow mercy upon the fallen souls of this world. Externally, they are like renunciates, but what is happening internally? Gopi bhava rasamritabdi lahari. They are drowning in the waves of the ocean of Gopi Prem, of the love gopis have for Krishna. This is the true nature of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. Therefore, Rupa Goswami, he manifested this Gopi Prem, he manifested these inner moods, not in the form of definition. Gurudev said, if you want to look even deeper, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is like an ocean of Bhakti Ras. From that ocean of Bhakti Ras, there is one very distinguished jewel, dark in color, that is extracted from that ocean. What is that? That is called Ujjvala Nilamani, his second book describing only Madhurya Ras. But even above that, Gurudev said, if you want to see the true mood of Rupa Goswami, not only his neutral disposition defining the different stages of bhakti, but the true personal, confidential mood, then you have to look in his work called Stavamala. Stavamala is simply prayers at Rupa Goswami. I've heard that Rupa Goswami, many of these prayers he hasn't even written. It is simply a manifestation of his mood from his heart. Sometimes when you're experiencing the most deep moods, how is it possible to write? The only thing you can do is cry out. So Jīva Goswami being Rupa Goswami's shadow, when Rupa Goswami was saying these nectarian verses, the contents of his heart, Jīva Goswami was like the scribe. And many of these songs Jīva Goswami has written down, collected and compiled, and made into a mala. Stava mala means a garland of heartfelt prayers. So if you want to truly see the mood of Rupa Goswami, that innermost heart's desire of Lord Chaitanya, then you must read Stava mala. And who has manifested that for us? That is Śrīla Jīva Goswami. Just like we hear that Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, most people think that he has written this song, Kotai Go Prema Mohi Radhe Radhe. Actually, he has not written this song. He has sung this song. He is the singer of the song. But who wrote it down? One morning, very early, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at that time Bimala Prasad, heard his Guru Maharaj singing this very early in the morning on the banks of the Ganga. And Bimala Prasad wrote that down. So in the same way, Jīva Goswami is writing down all these esoteric, heartfelt expressions of his Guru Śrīla Rupa Goswami. So these are the most precious jewels. But in order to protect these jewels, you know, if you have a treasure, something very valuable, it must be protected. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj says, if currency is given out to unqualified people, then they will make counterfeit currency. And what will happen to the true currency, if that is widely spread? The value of the true currency will be decreased, be diminished. So for that reason, when there is something of value, sometimes instead of distributing it, its value increases if that is kept a secret, if that is coveted, if that is protected. So in Sanskrit, like if you have a treasure, you always put it in a treasure chest. Do you not go around with it? Some people who have the most expensive jewelry, they don't even wear it. Instead, they always put it inside of a safe, locked away, and put insurance on that. So if you have something very valuable, it must be protected. In Sanskrit, a treasure chest means a sandarbha. Sandarbha means a chest or a box. So what Jīva Goswami has done for all these esoteric topics that Rupa Goswami has mercifully given us, in order to preserve its fidelity, its sanctity, its value, in order not to preserve it, but rather to increase it, he has made these Sat Sandarbhas, 6 treasure chests, and inside those treasure chests he has put the most valued asset of Rupa Goswami's heart. That is the most highest attainable goal for all jivas, for all living entities. So how can we attain that? We must go through the treasure chest. We must have the key. What does that mean? Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj says, you must know the 6 sandarbhas if you actually want to relish one drop of Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, of that ocean of rasa. So if you want to dive into that ocean of rasa, you must have swimming lessons. Swimming lessons is like Jīva Goswami's Sat Sandarbha. To understand Tattva and Siddhanta, Bhaktivedanta Thakur writes, Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Jīva Goswami Kavi Siddhanta Salile Naiva Beka Tarkanale Chitta Sadajvale. He is praying to Jīva Goswami that Siddhanta which is distributed, which is given by Srila Jīva Goswami. Most people think Siddhanta means, it means we have to understand Tattva, this truths, and we have to stretch our minds, and it's so difficult for us and grind our teeth. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, no. Naiva Vena Tarakanale Chitta Sadajvale. In this material world, this so-called enjoyment is actually like a forest fire. This logic of debate back and forth is like a fire burning our heart. But this Siddhanta that is given by Jīva Goswami, it is like a soothing shower upon our heart. If you really, with intent and with devotion, enter into these very technical topics, actually it is more sweet than nectar. It is not difficult at all. So if that nectar is meant to be extracted, we must go through this process of understanding Tattva and Siddhanta. Therefore, Siddhanta Baliya Chitta Nakare Allas Iha Hoitis Lage Sudridha Krishna Manas. We should not be lazy and think, this Tattva, all this philosophy is not for me. I only want to hear the stories. Actually, it is simply like chewing on a dry sugar cane. No rasa is actually there if we're not understanding Tattva and Siddhanta. This is the platform. So Jīva Gosvāmīpada, he is our Tattva Siddhanta Acharya. He is giving all of us a foundation upon which we can build this wonderful mandir, this temple for Radha and Krishna under the guidance of Srila Rupa Goswami. So, although sahajas we think nowadays, they're not present, at least here in the West, in India, at Radhakund, sometimes you have to worry about them, these prakrita sahajas. But actually, sahajism is alive and well in the hearts of everyone. Anyone who thinks that, I can taste the love of Radha and Krishna without understanding Tattva Siddhanta, this is a form of sahajism. Everyone must be very careful. Therefore, Jīva Gosvāmīpada, he knows everything. He is the most Rasikacharya, he is Vilasa Manjari, Bhanumati Saki in Vrindavan, intimate associate of Radha and Krishna. So he is providing everything for us, but the proper way to attain that is understanding everything, this Tattva, this Siddhanta. These are also very valuable jewels. Siddhanta means the topmost perfection, the last limit of perfection. If you want to achieve that, then you must understand these satsandarbhas, these philosophical truths, and then we can enter into this ocean of us. So please forgive me for speaking. I'm offering my shastam pranam at the feet of Srila Jīva Goswami. Also for 30 seconds, I simply want to thank Shripad Siddhanti Maharaj for again coming. He is now, I've known him since like 2000 maybe, so for a very long time, but now he's like family to all of us because he's come here so many times in a row. So words really can't express how happy I am when Maharaj graces us with his presence. And the Harikatha which he shares, like last night, it simply brings remembrances of Gurudev, of our acharyas, and so inspiring within the heart to hear these tattva siddhantas. That's what makes someone a bona fide preacher. Not that they can speak very sweetly in a high voice and imitate the voices of the Sakis, etc. Tattva and siddhanta must be there. So our Gurudev has given him the name, Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti. He who was expert in siddhanta is called Siddhanti. So, in all seriousness, I'm so happy Maharaj is here. Up to Siddhanta. Thank you, Maharaj, so much for coming again.
Hare Krishna. No, that's I don't need it. Thank you. Jnanatimirandasya jnananjanṣalakaya chakshuramritam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Sadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. He Radhe Braj Devi ke Chalalite He Nanda Shuno Kutha. Then Shri Govardhana Kalpapada Patale Kalindi Vane Kuta Ghoshantaviti Sarvato Vrajapure Khedir Mahavivalo Vande Rupa Sanatano Bhattajago Shri Jīva Gopalako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. One more time. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hari Bol. शिवामन भगवान की जय. Thank you so much. So already so much has been said. I think everything has been said. Nothing, they didn't keep anything for me to speak on. All the topics will be touched by father and son, spiritual father and spiritual son. I remember how enthusiastic and Srila Gurudev used to encourage on these special tithis, especially tithi of Shri Jīva Goswami and Shri Rupa Goswami. On occasion of Shri Rupa Goswami, Gurudev used to go very, very deep into the Siddhanta by his disciples, by many scholars, and he himself used to bring up many beautiful points, the deep points glorifying Shri Rupa Goswami and what he contributed to this world. And on the tithi of Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, then Gurudev used to be in tears, because the Vairagya, the renunciation of Raghunath Das Goswami is unparalleled, and inspiring us to follow the standard of Raghunath Das Goswami if we want to get entrance into the service of divine couple Shri Radha Govind. And then on Shri Jīva Gosvāmīpada's appearance and disappearance, then Gurudev, he was taking out those jewels which was being thrown to the masses by Rupa Goswami and Jīva Goswami, saying that amongst the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami is prominent, and Raghunath Das Goswami and Jīva Goswami, they are Rupanugas. Understand? Specifically this, the best of all Rupanugas, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, who's praying and longing to get service like Shri Rupa Goswami. Shri Rupa Manjari Kadarche Pada Padme. And secondly is Shri Jīva Goswami, who learned all this. Actually, Anvay Vyatirek. There's a term called direct and indirect. So, indirectly learned everything which has been directly spoken by Mahaprabhu. When Shri Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he saw Nutan Sannyasi, young Sannyasi, 24 years old, and he's very young. He's dancing and singing like a bhavuk, like a sentimental personality. So Shri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya corrected Mahaprabhu, saying that, why you like so sentimental? You're singing and dancing. This is not bhakti. You can't get Krishna like this. You have to read Vedanta. And if you want to hear Vedanta, I can teach you Vedanta. Mahaprabhu was very quiet and submissive to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. This is the vilas. This is the pastime of Mahaprabhu. And Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya spoke on one verse. Atma Ramyascha Munyo. No. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya spoke 7 days on Vedanta. But Mahaprabhu was very quietly listening, quiet listener there. And after 7th day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, are you understanding what I am saying? Because there is no any response from you. You're not even crying, you're not even laughing, you're not even smiling, not even saying yes, not even saying no. So, very, what do you call it? Dry reaction. Blank face. So are you understanding? Mahaprabhu said very well. When you uttering the sutras, it gives pleasure to my heart. Because Arthorham Ram Sutranam Bharat Arth Vinidnayam. Those sutras written by Vyasadeva, I'm relishing hearing those sutras, but when you give explanation to those sutras, that is like sun is covered by clouds. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got so offended by hearing this. You will tell me this? I'm Sarvabhauma. I'm so renowned all over the country. I know so much. And you finding faults in my explanations, in my commentaries? Mahaprabhu, what fault? Then Mahaprabhu took one. Atma Ramnasya Munyo Nirganti Api Ukrame Kurventu Etuki Bhaktim Itham Bhuto Gunohari. All those Atma Rams, those who dwell in their own, and Atma Kams, all these great munis, they get attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. Nirganti upikarme kurventu etuki bhaktim itham gutam hari. By hearing the qualities of Krishna, as Shri Shukdev Goswami, without any fear or embarrassment, he claimed in Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, what is there to hide? Yes, I was absorbed in that Nirguna Brahm, impersonalism, parinishtopi nirgunya, uttam shlok lidaya, grit chej rajeshi akyam yatitvam. Yes, I can say this. I was absorbed in that impersonalism, but when I heard the qualities of Hari, the qualities of Krishna, it just dragged me from that domain to the personal feature of the Lord. So, when Mahaprabhu gave 64 explanation on this verse, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was, what is this? And then Sri Mahaprabhu, he revealed his Swarup. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was shocked that he is not sannyasi, he is my Prabhu, he is my Lord. But he is playing a role as a sannyasi, he is Krishna. He fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu asking forgiveness. Mahaprabhu said, Sarvabhauma, I have not revealed myself yet. I am hiding myself. According to time, I will reveal myself. So don't tell anyone about my Swarup. Keep this hidden for now. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got totally transformed, and he was longing for mukti, and after transformation he was not even uttering the word mukti. Jnanam prayase udvanti namant eva jivanti sanmukridya bhavadya vartam sthane sthita shruti gatam tano vanmano bhir je prayaso jit asne tatyanukampa susmikshmano bhunjan evatma kritam vivaka hide vak vapup vididam namaste jivayo bhakti pade sadai bhak. The verse in Bhagavatam says mukti pade. I am not going details into this. You are very intelligent devotees, you know all details. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got so much transformation and impact of Mahaprabhu that he is not able to even utter the word mukti now, for which he was longing before. As Shri Shukdev Goswami got transformed, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also got transformed with the association of Mahaprabhu and by understanding his Sarup. And all that teachings what Mahaprabhu explained to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was noted down by one of his disciples called Madhusudan Vachaspati, who was residing at Kashi. Jīva Goswami, his birthplace is Ramkeli in Bengal. He had darshan of Mahaprabhu, the Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu already told Jīva Goswami, hey Jīva, just follow my direction what I am saying. So Mahaprabhu didn't send Jīva Goswami to Vrindavan, because that is only can be sanctioned by Nityananda Prabhu. Nitai Karuna Have Braje Radha Krishna Pave. Mahaprabhu is also not started giving prema prior to meeting Shri Nityan Prabhu. He was waiting for Nityan Prabhu and giving this responsibility on Nityan Prabhu to assign prema and to assign his associates to go to Vrindavan. Nityan Prabhu assigned this, not Mahaprabhu. In the case of Raghunath Das Goswami, in the case of Shri Kaviraj Goswami, and many other cases, examples, Nityan Prabhu sent them to Vrindavan. So, even though Mahaprabhu gave order to the Goswamis, but those order was sanctioned by Nityananda Prabhu. So in the example of Shri Jīva Goswami, Shri Mahaprabhu told, hey Jīva, first go to Navdeep and meet Nityananda. And from there, he will going to give direction after that. Shri Jīva Goswami, tears in his eyes, got so emotional to see Mahaprabhu. Because his Vilas Manjari, as we were hearing, the Vilas of Radha and Krishna and the Vilas of Mahaprabhu. Vilas means the enjoying mood, the loving reciprocation of Shri Radha and Krishna, the embodiment when Radha Krishna meets together, and whatever reciprocation of love happens amongst them, the embodiment of that enjoyment and that reciprocation is Shri Jīva Goswami, Vilas Manjari. So we can understand the position of Shri Jīva Goswami. The name is Jīva, short, but his role is very high. And the vilas of Shri Mahaprabhu is what? Sankirtan. And not just Sankirtan. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing the joyous moods of Radha's Anurag. That's the vilas of Shri Mahaprabhu. And Jīva Goswami is in Radha Krishna Leela, the Vilasa Manjari, the vilas of Radha Krishna, and in Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime is again the vilas of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu inspired him, directed him directly to go to Shri Navdeep Dham. Shri Jīva Goswami, tears in his eyes, following the footsteps of his great uncles, Shri Rup Sanatan, and Shri Jīva Goswami, son of Anupam. Anupam means the name, the younger brother of Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Anupam. But not only the name Anupam, but why he was called Anupam? Because the word Anupam means unparalleled. There's no one like Anupam. Yeah? Unparalleled personality. And Jīva Goswami is the son of Anupam. So he came to Navdeep Dham. He met Shri Nityam Prabhu, paid obeisances to him. Prior to Shri Jīva Goswami met Nityam Prabhu was roaring. As when Nityam Prabhu came to Mayapur, Shri Mahaprabhu was roaring and told his associates, a great personality has arrived in Nadia. Go and search for him. And everyone searched here and there and was not able to find out who is that great Mahabhagavat. Because Nityam Prabhu was hiding himself as Nandanacharya Bhavan, was thinking if Mahaprabhu is Krishna, then he is going to find me out. All associates came back without any information. He said, no Mahaprabhu, there is no Mahabhagavat or great personality has come in Nadia. Mahaprabhu said, you don't know, I know where he is hiding. So Mahaprabhu stood up and he ran exactly that house of Nandanacharya where Nityam Prabhu was hiding. And there the two Bhagwan, the two Lord met and become Ishodhyan. Similarly, when Nityam Prabhu was sitting with his associates, he was roaring and he said, a great person has come in Navdeep. A great personality has come in Navdeep. But no one was understanding the indication of Shri Nityam Prabhu. And that great personality was Shri Jīva Goswami. When Shri Jīva Gosvāmīpada discovered Nityam Prabhu is situated at certain place, he bound no limits. He ran and he paid obeisances to the divine lotus feet of Shri Nityam Prabhu and drenched his lotus feet with his tears. The tears, the prem, the bhav in Shri Jīva Goswami, just by seeing the appearance of Nityam Prabhu and by touching him. Therefore, Shri Jīva Goswami is a recipient of the mercy of Mahaprabhu, and on the top of that, the recipient of the mercy of Shri Nityam Prabhu. It was Shri Nityam Prabhu who took Jīva Goswami to tour the entire Navdeep Dham, the Gaur Mandal. The first Navdeep Dham Parikrama was initiated directly by Nityam Prabhu to Jīva Goswami. And Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving this account in Navdeep Dham Mahatmya, where Shri Nityam Prabhu is telling, hey Jīva, Mahaprabhu did this here, Mahaprabhu did this here, Mahaprabhu did this here. And Jīva Goswami, tears in his eyes, Ha Gaur, Ha Gaur, Ha Gaur, calling out the name of Mahaprabhu, tears in his eyes, out of so much love. And then Nityam Prabhu, very long story short, but it is described in detail in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But Shri Nityam Prabhu directed Jīva Goswami, you should go and follow your uncles, go to Vrindavan. Nitai Karuna Habe, Braje Radha Krishna Pave. Only with the mercy of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. So Jīva Gosvāmīpada was thinking, because Mahaprabhu he assigned a particular task to each and every associate, especially the 6 Goswamis, Shad Goswamis. The other associates, they were too much engaged and busy in relishing the association of Mahaprabhu. In Rath Yatra, singing and dancing, wiping the tears of Mahaprabhu, understanding his moods, in Gambhira and other locations in Puri. They were always with Mahaprabhu. But I often say this, the great sacrifice shown by the 6 Goswamis, they have to physically give up the association of Mahaprabhu in order to fulfill the order of Mahaprabhu. Go to Braj, discover lost holy places, and establish deities, write books, and establish Vaishnava Sadachar, the 4 orders. They could have also asked or told Mahaprabhu, why are you sending us away? We want to be with you like all other associates. But they took the order of Mahaprabhu as priority, prominent, than the physical proximity of Mahaprabhu. This makes the 6 Goswamis' status in a very high respect and regard amongst other associates of Mahaprabhu. All glories to other associates, and Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu established the glories of Nam Tattva through Sri Haridas Thakur. Mahaprabhu chose. This is like infusion of potency. And to establish Ras Vichar by Shri Rupa Goswami, Vrindavan Ras Keli Vartam, Kale Lupta Nij Shakti Uktaha, Sanchare Rupna Vyatna Punasaha, Prabhu Iva Prayag Iva Lok Shishtim. When Shri Rupa Goswami met Mahaprabhu at Prayag, Mahaprabhu told, Vrindavan Ras Keli Vartam. The beautiful topics of Radha and Krishna of Braj got lost. Oh Rupa, go to Braj and revive them. So through Rupa Goswami, Ras Vichar. Through Raghunath Das Goswami, the ideal of renunciation and Manasi Seva. Ghare jao na ho batul, krame krame paye, forgetting this. Antara nishta bhai kara lok vivar. Through Raghunath Das Goswami, the concept of Manasi Seva, Ashtakali Leela Smaran. But Jīva Goswami, Mahaprabhu wanted him to establish Tattva. Very beautifully said by Shri Gopa Prabhu and also Shravan Prabhu, which is, we all heard from Srila Gurudev, we are just repeating his words. We didn't made this or fabricated this. Gurudev used to say this, Jīva Goswami established Tattva Vichara. The Tattva is like a foundation on which the palace of Ras Vichara can be built or can be established. And then the flag on the top of the dome is like the Prem. There's the victory of Prem, the victory of Radharani over Krishna. There's the flag on the... Shamla Nitidi asked me this question. Once upon a time I brought one flag from Jagannath Puri for her center. And I said, Didi, this is a gift for your new center. She said, okay, we will try to put in a rod somewhere, but what is the significance of flag? I said, this is the victory of Prema of Radharani over Krishna. That Krishna is Dhir Lalit Nayak and his submissive as Dakshin Bhav to Radharani. So that's the victory of the prema. She said, oh, I never heard this before. So Tattva Vichar is the foundation. But the speciality of and the contribution of Sri Jiva Goswami is he not only made the foundation, but he also built the Prema Mandir. Tattva Vichar. So, receiving the order of Sri Nityam Prabhu, while coming to Vrindavan, Jiva Goswami was little stressed. Because who's going to teach me the Shad Darshan, the six darshans, the six philosophy, Nyaya, etc. Uttar Mimamsa, Purv Mimamsa. Who's going to teach me this? It has to be someone who knows details of this. Because Jiva Goswami is his own personality. He's not like an ordinary regular student. Very high caliber. So he was expecting someone very higher than him. And therefore he found out on the way to Vrindavan at Kashi, Madhusudan Vachaspati, who was a direct disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and who noted down everything from his Gurudev Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all those points which Mahaprabhu gave to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So not Anvay but Vyatirik. Not directly from Mahaprabhu, because Jiva Goswami was very young then, but through Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is very dear associate of Mahaprabhu. After transformation, Virag Vidya Nij Bhakti Yogam Shikshartaikam Sapurusham Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariridhari Kripam Buddhiyas Tamam Prapadya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, after receiving this message from Mahaprabhu, just like a mango is very sweet, but when the parrot touches the mango, it becomes more sweeter. So what Mahaprabhu gave to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is very sweet, but when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya described to his disciple Madhusudan Vachaspati, it became more sweeter. And Jiva Gosvāmīpada, he stayed in Kashi and learned all this from Madhusudan Vachaspati. And then he came to Vrindavan. Direct disciple, Gurudev said, direct disciple of Sri Rupa Goswami. So, if he is direct disciple of Sri Rupa Goswami, Gurudev used to say, then why he don't know the mood of his Gurudev, Rupa Goswami? He was doing all menial services to Rupa Goswami. And the famous story, Gurudev always used to say this, that at Gokul, which ghat? Brahmanda Ghat. Sri Rupa Goswami was writing and Jiva Goswami was fanning him. So this shows, this is not just a story, but we can derive some very important information from this story. It's not that Jiva Goswami was just only and only into the philosophy or doing the fidelity check, the proofreading of Rupa Goswami's books. But this proves that he was also performing menial services for his Guru Maharaj, fanning him while Rupa Goswami was writing. And there come one big acharya who said, "Oh Rupa, what are you writing?" And Sri Rupa Gosvāmīpada said, "Bhukti mukti spriha yavat pishachi hiri vartate." That means bhukti means desire to enjoy the worldly benefits, and mukti, liberation, is compared to as a witch. He got little upset hearing this, saying, how all those jnanis, they are longing to get liberation. How Rupa can write, how Rupa Goswami can write. Compare mukti, liberation, to be a witch. That's not proper. And he said, I want to correct this. Rupa Goswami, out of humility, he accepted this. He said, yes Prabhu, whatever you want to correct, And in this way, Jiva Goswami, as a disciple, was not able to tolerate this because there cannot be any mistake in the writings of Rupa Goswami. As Shravan Prabhu beautifully said, that Jiva Goswami was like proof reading or fidelity check of Rupa Goswami's literature. But there cannot be any mistake there. So what he was doing? He was adopting the moods of Sri Rupa Goswami by reading the literatures of Rupa Goswami. What correction he has to do there? There is no any scope of any correction there. When Srila Bhaktivedanta Vāman Goswami Maharaj, he is a Rupanugacharya, Param Gurudev was so confident in him because he was writing articles to the magazines. So when Srila Vāman Goswami, Bhaktivedanta Vāman Goswami Maharaj, when he used to write articles, and other God brothers bringing those articles to Param Gurudev and saying that, shall we print this? We should do proofreading and then we send for print out. Param Gurudev was so confident when Srila Bhaktivedanta Vāman Goswami Maharaj said no. Because Vāman Maharaj cannot do any single mistake. There is no need for any fidelity check, no proofreading, no correction. Print as it is. Param Gurudev said for Srila Bhaktivedanta Vāman Goswami Maharaj, Rupanugacharya. Then what to speak of Sri Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami? And the writing of Sri Rupa Goswami cannot be any mistake. But Sri Jiva Gosvāmīpada was not reading there and not correcting there, but by reading the books, he was adopting the moods of his Guru Maharaj. And in this way, Sri Rupa Goswami showed the ideal example of his Guru, means extreme humility, because Rupa Goswami is Priya Sarupe, Priya Rupe. He is very dear to Radharani, and Radharani is also like this, maintaining, even though Haladni Sar Prem, Prem Sar Bhav, Bhav Parakashta Mahabhav, Mahabhav Sarupani, Radha Thakurani, Sarva Kanta Shiromani, Sarva Gunakhani, Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Chaitanya Charitamrita described from the stage of Shraddha to Bhav and Prem, Haladni Sar Prem, Prem Sar Bhav, Bhav Ma Parakashta Mahabhav. Shri Radharani is the embodiment of Mahabhav, which comes after Prem, Snehe, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Rud, Adirud, Modan, Vadanakhya Mahabhav. Shri Radharani is the embodiment of that highest limit of that Prem. But in terms of humility, she is also not less, exhibiting the extreme limits of humility. As Sri Rupa Gosvāmīpada described in Ujjwalin Mani, Api Gokul Prasiddhe Bhru Brahmavi Parijan Nishedapi Pitham Umucha Radha Bhadramabe Duram Pariksha. Sri Rupa Gosvāmīpada described Radharani was sitting with her Sakhis. She saw Bhadra is coming. Bhadra means the counterpart of Radharani. She is Vipaksha. Understand? But Bhadra is Yutheshwari. He is a group leader. And seeing that Bhadra approaching Radharani, she, getting served by her Sakhis, she is about to stand up to honor Bhadra. But Lalita Sakhi forbade her, no, keep sitting, you're not supposed to get up. It's Bhadra, it's Vipaksha, he's a counterpart. You're not supposed to get up, just keep sitting there. But Radharani can't. She is showing this humility. I have to give respect to Bhadra because Shyam Sundar also go in their camp, in their kunja, and they also serve my Krishna out of love. So anyone who serves Krishna with love, I am indebted to that person. So same way Sri Rupa Goswami, highest limit of humility. Bhakti rudanchati yaddipe madhav na toy mama tila matri. Rupa Goswami was saying, hey Madhav, I don't even have a bhakti as a sesame seed. That's Rupa Goswami saying this. You know. But if someone asks me, they say, oh, I'm not less. I already achieved Nishta Ruchi. No humility. Yeah. But Uttam Hoya Apna ke Mane Trinadham. This is the quality of a Uttam, Mahabhagavas, the personality. They always keep themselves very meek and humble. And if there is any correction, Rupa Goswami immediately said, please, go ahead and do correction. So Jīva Goswami's idol disciple, this is what Gurudev used to point out. After hearing this, Jīva Goswami was not tolerant. And he told Rupa Goswami that it's getting dark now, let me go to Jamuna to fetch some water. And there he had debate and argument with that personality, that Acharya, that what mistake you found in the literature of my Guru Maharaj, my Gurudev, Rupa Goswami. Yeah, he compared bhukti and mukti to be a witch. This is not right. Then Jīva Goswami said, you didn't read properly. He said, bhukti mukti sriha yavat. Sriha means the tendency to attain mukti is which? The mood to attain that mukti is compared to a witch, not mukti is which. And they both were great scholars. And the debate took place. Finally he got defeated. Because Jīva Goswami is Jīva Goswami. He got defeated, and then he came to Rupa Goswami and he said, I'm so sorry, there's no correction in your work. But by the way, who's that boy? He's very learned. Rupa Goswami understood exactly 100% what happened, what would have happened there. Then when he left, Jīva Goswami came and Rupa Goswami told Jīva what Gurudev said, what khurapat you did. Khurapat? What disturbance you did. He wanted to correction in my work. You must have said something to him. And he said, no, I was just having a discussion with him and told exactly what you're writing. I didn't do any disturbance. But Rupa Goswami, according to fake people or Sahajiyas, those who don't understand this transcendental dealing, they say Rupa Goswami rejected Jīva Goswami. Totally rejected, said, Jīva, go away from here. I don't want to see you. Understand? Gurudev said, this is totally absurd, this is wrong. He didn't reject him. He was being sent away for some specific reason. For some specific reason. Yeah. Just like Śrīla Gosvāmīpada also, he told Narottam Thakur to go away. You're very fond of distributing water to people. Now you go away from here, from me, and distribute rasa to everyone. Because you want to give this. So go and distribute this bhakti ras to everyone. That's not rejection at all. But those who are very gross level understanding, they don't understand these transcendental dealings. So Gurudev said it was not a rejection. So at Bhai here in Braj, we go in Kartik Paritma there, Shri Jīva Goswami, receiving this order from Rupa Goswami that go away, he took shelter in a cave, a crocodile cave. And there he burned some leaves, he used to burn some leaves, and he wrote Shat Sandarbhas there in that cave. If it would have been a rejection by Rupa Goswami, how a disciple can write such great work, Shat Sandarbhas, the one and only one in the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. Nothing can be compared to Shat Sandarbhas. When I was residing in Rupsanathan Gaudiya Math, when I heard this lecture from Srila Gurudev, I got so enthusiastic to read Sandarbhas. So I got Tattva Sandarbha, Bhakti. When I started reading Tattva Sandarbha, which is the first, Tattva Sandarbhas, my mind was going in all directions. What is this? What is this? Very difficult, very technical, so much technical. But then Bhakti Sandarbha, Priti Sandarbha, a little better. But Tattva Sandarbha, Paramatma Sandarbha and Bhagavad Sandarbha, very, very technical. But Bhakti and Priti Sandarbhas, a little better for a conditioned person like me, foolish person like me. And the beauty of those Sandarbhas is that those who are familiar with the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, they can relish this. Those who are familiar. Then one can understand the glories of Jīva Goswami, how beautifully he took those verses which are related to bhakti only in Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses in Bhagavatam. He took like a swan taking milk mixed with water. He's just taking that verses which only describing word bhakti from all Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Compiled Bhakti Sandarbha. Amazing, amazing. And then Priti means those definitions, those verses which define the love, the prem, Jīva Goswami took those and compiled as Priti Sandarbhas. Beautiful and so technical. One who developed the taste of relishing the technical part, the tattva, then there is no doubt that person can also relish the ras vichar. But those who are relishing only the ras vichar and never give attention to tattva vichar is not complete relishment. Or it can be, in most cases, it is just mere sentimental relishment. And that's why Shri Jīva Gosvāmīpada is given the title as Tattva Acharya and also Ras Acharya. Both. That's the beauty of Shri Jīva Goswami's identification. And I'm not saying this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they said, we heard from Gurudev saying this. Not only Tattva Acharya, but is also Ras Acharya. How Ras Acharya? His great work as Champu, Gopal Champu. What is the meaning of Champu? Champu means where Gadde and Padde comes together. We published Gopal Champu, not from Srila Gurudev's Vat, but from my Guru Maharaj Vat. in year 99, I think. 98. Gopal Champu, we published in Hindi language. From Sanskrit to Hindi. Amazing. So Champu, there I read what is the meaning of Champu. Champu means where Gadde and Padde means poetry and ornamental language when mixed together. So not saying anything just straight, but describing indirectly in a poetic language. This is called Champu. You understand? Indirectly means what? So just touching the glories of Shri Vāmanadeva. Just like Rupa Goswami is telling is writing in Ujjwala Vani, pacifying the man of Radharani. Pacifying the man of Radharani, saying, "Oh Radhe, the intent of Krishna is to show off here, exhibiting his glories and simultaneously pacifying the man of Radharani." How he described this? This is called Kamukta Nyaya, a logic. There are many kinds of logics. Kamukta Nyaya means indirectly, Vyatirek Rupena, indirectly glorifying himself, but with the intent to pacify Radharani. Just like he said, Radhe, What to speak of me? Even my avatars are submissive to you. So indirectly he's showing off that I'm not ordinary person, I'm the origin of other avatars too. And how he described this? Oh Radhe, your eyes are so beautiful. Your eyes are so beautiful that the mean avatar, Keshavadhrita, Meena Sharira, Jai Jagadish Hare. Mean means the fish incarnation. Your eyes are beautiful like mean avatar. Understand? Your lips is full of Vatsalya, Karuna. Because Lord Nrsimhadev is a Vatsalya avatar, full of affection. So your beautiful lips are full of affection. That means my Nrsimha avatar is submissive to your lips. And Keshavadhrita Kurma Sharira. Kurma means tortoise. So please excuse me. He said, your beautiful chest is like Kurma avatar. Means my Kurma avatar is submissive to your chest. Then your neck has 3 lines. That's the beauty, described of the Lord. And 3 lines. And that means Shri Vāman Bhagavan, who took with his 3 steps. He took everything from Bali Maharaj. Trivalli is called Trivalli. So my Vāman avatar is submissive to your beautiful neck. And Ramaniya, like Ramani Shiromani, Vishabhanu Nandani. Ramani means 3 Rams in Dash Avatar. Parshuram, Ram and Balaram. They are submissive to your Ramani mood, your splendor, your beauty. And you are very sober. That means my Buddha avatar is submissive to your soberness. And in the last is Keshavadhrita Kalki Sharira. Kalki means in Hindi, those who know Hindi, there's a word called Kalmash. Kalmash means contaminations. That, oh Radhe, the contamination in you. What is contamination in you? That you always exhibit man for me. That's the contamination. That's Kalki. That means my Kalki avatar is submissive to you. And saying that, what to speak of me? All the Shavataras are submissive to your features. So this is one art. Sometimes we also do this with our friends and devotees. This is an art. Krishna indirectly posing himself that I am great and I am very superior, still I am submissive to you, then why are you maintaining your man? And not only me, all avatars are submissive to you, to your bodily features. This is called the Kamukta Nyaya, understand? So, what I was saying before? Gopal Champu is like this. Saying in a very ornamental language, not directly but indirectly. This is Champu. Just like describing the beauty of Krishna. I used to give lectures on Gopal Champu while I was in Rupsnath and Gaudiyambar. Then all devotees from Gopinath Bhavan and all our congregation, the whole temple hall was full in those days. 70-80 devotees. A morning, Gopal Champu, Hindi and English. And when that was only time I got to read this, and everyone, myself, we were amazed what Jīva Goswami is writing here. How beautiful is describing the Golok Leela. Those pastimes which are not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami, out of time, because of time restraint, he just touched those leelas. Sri Jīva Goswami expanded those pastimes. Like Putana, killing Putana, he expanded. How expansion? Each and every mood. When Putana came, or when Yashoda Maya saw Putana dead, what was in her mind, in her heart, in her mind, what she was thinking, what she was going through? Jīva Goswami is writing this. Who can write this? One who is the resident of that domain. What Sakhas are thinking, what Krishna is thinking. And how Sri Jīva Goswami introduced this? By recitation of Snigdhakant and Madhukant, the two brothers, reciting the pastimes of Krishna in the assembly of the Brajvasis. So, imagine the situation. If the speaker is very high class speaker and audience is not that high class, speaker don't feel any nervous about it. Oh, I'm teaching everyone. But when the audience is very high class scholars and the speaker is not that high class, imagine what happens. He's sweating. And in this case, Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, Upanand, Abhinand, Sunand, all these great Brajvasis are sitting, Radharani is sitting, Lalita Vishakha is sitting, Krishna, Sridham, Subal, they are the audience. And imagine how bold is Snigdhakant and Madhukant speaking not just out of his own speculation, but whatever Krishna did by killing Agasur and Bakasur, and what was the intent, and Krishna, what was in your mind when you saw Radharani, and what Radharani you were thinking when Krishna did that, and Radharani, when she's hearing from Madhukant speaking, she's looking toward Lalita Sakhi and she's, really? It was me? They're relishing, the audience is relishing, the Brajvasis are relishing the katha spoken by Snigdhakant and Madhukant. Sri Jīva Goswami is writing this. Such a beautiful art. And that's why he's Rasachari and Tattvachari. So therefore, sitting in that cave, he wrote Shad Sandarbhas, the one and only one. No one can compare this. Time is short, concluding by saying, the contribution of Sri Jīva Goswami is not only embracing the mood of his Gurudev, Sri Rupa Goswami, and writing Shad Sandarbhas and Sri Gopal Champu, even the Vamshi Chori Leela, how Radharani stole the flute of Krishna, the holy Leela. Understand? These pastimes are not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam in detail. Only Shukdev Goswami touched those points. But Jīva Goswami elaborated how Radharani stole that flute, how the holy took place, how other pastimes in Braj, and then what happened in Dwarika. So there is Purv and there is Uttar Champu. Two volumes. Dwarika Leela also. Sri Jīva Goswami mentioned there. In a very refined way, Gurudev said to protect those people who are getting offensive towards the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Sokhiya Bhav. But that was not the mood. Because he wrote, what that words? Swecha likitam kinchit parechaya. I'm writing this from my understanding, my point, but also for some other reasons. To save people, because they're getting offensive to see the mood of Shri Radharani towards Krishna, but the paramount mood, the Parikya Bhav. What is that Parikya Bhav? Not just Paramour mood means Radharani is not married to Krishna. Non-married mood. But Parkiya Bhav has 4 ingredients. Prachan Kamukta, Durlabhta, Vāmata and Nivaranta. If these 4 ingredients are not present, it cannot be a Paramour mood. It cannot be Parkiya Bhav. This is Rupa Goswami, Ujjwal Nirmal. Vāmata, Prachan Kamukta, Nivaranta and Durlabhta. These 4 ingredients have to be there to make it a Paramour mood. So Sri Jīva Goswami contribution is to elaborate this pastime of Radha and Krishna and understanding time, place and circumstance. Rupa Goswami is totally like Rupa Manjari mood absorbed there. And he is to establish the Manovishta of Mahaprabhu. He did his work. But Jīva Goswami, he was given a position of the head of all Vaishnavas. Vishnu Vaishnav Raj Sabha. He was the president. It introduced by Sri Jīva Goswami, right? All the Vaishnavas from Navadip and Vrindavan, Puri, these are 3 important. They made Sri Jīva Goswami as the president of Vishnu Vaishnav Raj Sabha. So therefore, as protector of the Sampradaya, he acted like that. But his mood was the mood of Sri Rupa Goswami. So now literature is there, the mood is there, protection is there. The additional quality or the glories of Sri Jīva Goswami over other Goswamis, not to minimize the glories of other Goswamis, but to highlight the glory of Jīva Goswami is he taught 3 Prabhus, trained them to distribute this philosophy, otherwise it's going to be only kept in chest. Shri Narottam, Shamanam, Srinivas Prabhu Trai. They all came, disciples of different gurus, who took shelter of Sri Jīva Goswami. Narottam Thakur, disciple of Sri Loknath Goswami. Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, disciple of Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Shyamanand Prabhu, disciple of Hriday Chaitanya Prabhu. Right? Am I right? Disciples from different gurus. Sri Gopa Prabhu mentioned this point. Jīva Goswami embraced them without any reservations. That, oh, you are a disciple of so and so guru, just go to your guru and learn from him. No. In that high domain, there is no any partiality. Everything is just one. Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru was one. We, in a material world with gross concept and material concept, we have this distinguish Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. But Srila Gurudev was just like Jīva Goswami. Srila Gurudev was just like Jīva Goswami. Everyone is mine. I am here to teach and to give the best what I know to everyone. No matter if you are disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, or you are disciple of Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, you are disciple of Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Maharaj, or disciple of Bhakti Kumsan Maharaj, or Sri Bhakti Swarup Siddhanti Goswami Maharaj, whoever it is, I am here to equally give attention and teaching. So you see, Gurudev, he played the role like a Rupa Goswami. Gurudev played the role like Raghunath Das Goswami. Gurudev played the role like a Jīva Goswami. This is the best example. He trained Narottam, Shaman, Srinivas Prabhu. These 3 Prabhu Trais. In our Gaudiya history, only 2 times it happened. The 3 Prabhu Trais. One is Narottam, Shaman, Srinivas Prabhu. And the other is only Bhaktivedanta Vāman Goswami Maharaj, Srila Trikru Goswami Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. Bhutana Bhavishyati. Not happened in the past, I don't think so it's going to happen in future. It's only 2 times. So Srila Gurudev, Sri Jīva Goswami, he understood The situation of the time, place and circumstance. Now this mood of Rupa Goswami, which is aligned with the mood of Shri Mahaprabhu, should be distributed. So these three Prabhutrais got all learning and training from Jīva Goswami. And then Jīva Goswami sent them for preaching. This is what Gurudev used to do. First learn from me, understand my mood, which is aligned with the mood of Rupa Goswami, and then go out and distribute this to everyone. Don't keep in you. Just distribute. More you distribute, more you get. More you're going to taste and relish this. Then these three Prabhutrais, they undated the entire world with the literature, the work of Rupa Goswami, and everyone came to know about Sri Rupa Goswami, otherwise it would have been just hidden in the chest. So, yad kali rupa sharir na dharata tab braja prem mahanidhi kutarita kaun kapat udarita. It applies to Rupa Goswami that he is the one who opened that chest and he showed those diamonds. But who distributed those diamonds? Jīva Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami unlocked that chest, opened that chest and declared, pearls are there, jewels are there, ornament is there. He only showed that in one sense. But it's Jīva Gosvāmīpada who actually distributed, and not only just taking credit that I distributed. That's again the glories of Acharyas, they give credits to their followers. Or these three Prabhutrais distributed. But what they distributed? What Rupa Goswami gave. So everything comes in the last to Rupa Goswami. Gaur Premanande. Shri Jīva Gosvāmīpada ki jai. Shri Vāman Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Vāman Dwadashi ki jai. Shri Gurudeva ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. So this festival going to be we're going to continue this festival tomorrow again. Saptam Goswami, the seventh Goswami, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and his unparalleled contribution. I'm going to ask some devotees to speak on this. I'm going to contribute something in this, and then day after tomorrow, the disappearance day of Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj and disappearance of Shri Haridas Thakur. We're going to observe this series of these festivals, and that was the point why Shravan Prabhu pulled me from India to don't go any other location, come to Hawaii. We can celebrate these tithis together. So I'm thanking Lalita Didi and Shravan Prabhu for pulling me here for these tithis. Always in Hawaii is I don't come randomly here, it's always at the festival time. So Gurudev's appearance and other times also like this. One time I came on Jhulan, Rupa Gosvāmīpada City. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri Jīva Gosvāmīpada ki jai.